Okay, so let's go. Good afternoon, everybody. I hope you are all enjoying Belgium and our wonderful weather this afternoon, but you will be able to party this evening, so to forget about the rain. I'm going to talk about a verticalization that we've done for 10 years now at LogicaSoft, which is a LIMS, a Laboratory Information Management System, which is fully integrated in the ERP Odoo. For those who already know what they have to ask as questions, so you can already scan the QR code, and I will put back the QR code at the end of the talk. A few words about LogicaSoft. So LogicaSoft is a Belgian Gold partner. It's a company established since 2008. So we are coming from the field of SAP consultancy. And since 2013, we are Odoo partners. So we have experience with more than 100 projects now, with mainly Odoo Enterprise. We are specialists in manufacturing, finance, logistics, project, utilities, and also experts. We are going to discuss about laboratories, quality control, quality management system, and also accreditation. So don't ask me the difference between specialists and experts, it's just for my talk. So as you can see, we have customers almost all around the world. We would be very pleased, of course, to complete a few the map for the US especially, and also waiting for customers from Australia. So if you hear from us, just call us. So among our references, we have here the LIMS references. So with laboratories in different fields of activity. So today we are going to focus on the agro-food industry because they have quite specific needs, but we have customers in very various fields of expertise. And so the goal, of course, I think that for the moment we are still the only laboratory information management system which is fully integrated in an ERP system. You don't have that in Dynamics, you don't have that as well developed in SAP also. So it's very unique to have that kind of activity in Odoo. So technically, the main features of the LIMS is it's a multi-lab system, so it's also possible to have a multi-company, of course, but we have customers like Suez, Lone Star in Oman and stuff like that, which are multi-laboratories, so it's segregation of duty. It's a suite of applications, so the LIMS is composed, in fact, not one module, but it's a suite of more than 60 modules, depending on the need of the customers and to which application of Odoo we have to connect. So it's applicable to all type of labs. So for the moment, we have labs in the environmental field, water, wastewater, soil, waste management, asbestos. We have a lot of customers with manufacturing, like medical devices, agro-food industry, pharmaceutical industry. We have a lab which is the oldest one in France for gemology in Paris. We have cannabis activity, veterinary lab, construction. We also manage speed cameras, so I can tell you they are working here, so be careful tonight. And we can install the system on Odoo SH because it's with specific modules, so at least we need Odoo SH, or on private cloud, or even on premises. The ecosystem is that we can connect, that's the talk today, to activities of manufacturing, warehousing. So the idea is to connect the system with any stock move, for instance, or through stock move, but through the quality control module, or with direct links. But we have also the possibility to connect with the research and development, so the project module. We have also specificities. We can manage utilities like drinking water sampling, so with sampling points that are also linked to the infrastructure of a company. And of course, we can link, for instance, to the sales and invoice. So for those of you that already know us, you know that we are presenting new stuff in Odoo LIMS since a few years. So just a short summary is that, okay, as the main LIMS features, we can manage commercial lab, manufacturing lab, and so on. So we have features like the request management, sample management and tracking, of course, batch management. We use the portal of Odoo for our customers. We can manage the instruments. We can connect the instrument to the system. You will see that you can book resources, so you have a complete view of, do I have human resources available? Do I have instruments available today to perform my test? We can manage the sampling tour, so again for utilities. Of course, we have dashboards. On top of that, so the system is fully connected to quotation and invoices, so you perform samples and with one click you can create the invoice for the customers. This is new. We have also now an e-commerce application so that for your customers they can log to the system, go to the web shop and order directly their samples from the web shop. So again, instruments management and connection. We also manage the human resource skills in advanced lab like accredited lab or GLP labs. They have to manage who can do what and for how much for a certain period. So we manage that so that it means that we know that, okay, I can do HPLC, for instance, and it's valid for 1 year. After that, you have to renew the authorization for the people. We have also a quality management system, so for corrective action, preventive action, the management of audit, management of reviews, and so on, quality controls and projects. So I will come back to this one after the demo. So let's go now to a system. So very quickly, the idea when you have, for instance, agro-food industry, so you have to control some products, reception, manufacturing. I'm going to shift in English very quickly. And the idea is that it's very easy to connect the system to those activities just by allowing through a tick box. Voilà, let's go to this one. So we can say, okay, this is authorized for the LIMS, and when we have a stock move, we are going to create a specific type of sample. And on the product themselves, because on a quality control point, you can define several products to control, and then per product, you can define exactly which parameters you are going to measure in your project. And this is the magic of Odoo, of course, because it's fully integrated. With one click, you have the historicization of all the samples that you perform on a specific product. So you can very quickly see how many analyses, which one were conform, not conform, and so on. You can also access another click to the list of results, and you can also, of course, shift to the graphical view so that you can see the evolution of the quality of your product. So the main idea is that when you have, for instance, a manufacturing order, is that when you have to go through the quality control, you can create the sample, and the sample will be automatically linked together with its lot number. So you can drill down in the system very easily, and you have the information that you have one sample. Until now, we still let the decision to be taken by the quality manager to say, okay, this is good, it's fail or pass for the quality control. Why it's not automatic? Because sometimes you have to repeat several times your analysis, because if the first one is not conform, normally in that type of industry, you have to repeat twice at least the control to be sure that it was okay or not. So typically, when you have to imagine that I'm buying here some CBD oil, I have my reception, which is already there. Just have to check the operation, choose my stock number, and go through the quality control and create my sample. So the system is preparing me a sample, and here we go to the laboratory part of the system, where you have a complete flow. The system is fully certifiable, accreditable. We can also perform computer system validation if it is a pharmaceutical lab, and we deploy some additional module, because if you are a pharmaceutical lab, you need to ask the password each time you validate something. So the idea is to have all your parameters on the screen, and each parameter is organized, well, or several parameters, they are linked to a method. And for the planning of the work for the technicians, we can also say, okay, for instance, you see that here on my screen, everything is ready except the HPLC. Why? Because I have to perform first the extraction, for instance, of the sample before performing. So if I say, okay, I take it, this can be done by scan, of course. We have QR codes on the sample, and you can scan it. So you see that now my test is in whip mode. The other one is still not ready. So I can say, okay, let's do it. Done. Okay, and then we go to the list. We see that now I can perform HPLC. HPLC is with a machine, so that the idea, of course, again, you can scan it and you have all the parameters that you have to encode. What we added also is the planification. So with one additional click, you can have a view on your operators and see who is available today, or you can also have a view on your equipments with the reservation. So that meaning that you see if you have an HPLC available today, you can, of course, go to the daily view to have more information. And this is linked also with the maintenance module of Odoo, so that if you have a scheduled maintenance, the scheduled maintenance will also appear on the screen, so that it's not only a way to reserve equipment, but to see if there is some ongoing or not maintenance. So the idea when you have a sample is to perform all the result. I think I prepared one here. I encoded all my result. The system is telling you if it is a parameter which is important, so that you can specify a limit. If it is okay, it will turn green. If it is not okay, it will turn red, of course. And you have the full traceability. Imagine that you have a doubt about one result. Again, with one click, you can see the history of your samples for the same article, and you can have a graph view of the sample. But this was not enough for our customers, because in the agro-food industry, you usually have the specification of the customers. So typically, in a system like a LIMS, you have specifications which are, for instance, regulatory. And so you have a set of specifications, and again, it turns green, red, or black if there is no specification. But then you have each customer, they can come with their own specification, and this was an issue, because the product can be conform for the manufacturing, for the manufacturer, but the product may be not conform for a customer. So we added here a new feature. So it's possible when the sample is validated to apply limits to the system. I'm sorry for the French. And so with this selector, you can open all the specific set of specifications of the customers. And so by selecting, for instance, here for 3 customers, can select and confirm. And based on that, the system is going to calculate for which customer is your production lot going to fit. And so it's also possible to have, so here you see that it's not conform for customer 3. And if I want to see the detail, I can print here a detailed report, which is a PDF. And so the system is listing you all the parameters, the values, and your plant limits and per customer saying, okay, this is not conform for this parameter because the customer was waiting for another quality. So now we have a system that allows the plant to look, okay, is this lot going to fit for my customer? What we are going to do next is a system that will allow you to check within everything that you have in stock, do you have something that is going to fit to the customer? So this was the first step of this new feature, so it's working well. And now it's going to be a little bit more complicated to develop, but okay, you receive an order of a customer with specifications and you are going to be able to check, do you have to produce something or do you have something in stock that will do the job. So, okay, I'm going back to my pad. If you have any questions, it's now time to prepare or shout your questions loud.
Thank you. Let me just reload the page. We've got questions. So the first one, is it easy to replicate solution developed for one specific company to the industry? How complicated is it to be an Odoo expert in a specific industry?
In fact, basically, I'm not an Odoo expert. I'm a former lab manager, so I have a lot of experience in the laboratory field. So if it is, and so we are experts in labs as well as you have experts in manufacturing. But
the question was oriented on the fact that you build your own applications to propose your own solution. And maybe you can replicate that not only for companies, but for the whole industry, for several companies. Is it that?
Yes, but Odoo is extremely customizable, so it's very easy to use some core modules and then add specific functionalities depending on the field. Because again, you are not going to have the same requirement for agro-food. And another type, we work a lot also with medical device. It's not exactly the same way for performing controls, correct?
I've got here two different questions, but I think it's related. The first one is the app sample échantillon that you just showed. Is it a total custom app or do you build it from an existing one?
No, it's totally custom.
Totally custom.
All objects were made from scratch, and the first version of the LIMS was in version 7 of Odoo, so it's 10 years old.
And so it's related, but what was missing in standard Odoo? But I suppose that everything.
But yeah, nothing was existing, so we built it from scratch. The app, which maybe very little bit more close to a system like that, is the quality control, but it's only one parameter at a time. And you don't have all the security, all the flows that is needed for medical devices or accredited lab or pharmaceutical lab. So I think it's more than 40,000 lines of code, the core module of the LIMS.
Another question, again on customization, I suppose. What do you use for instruments management?
Alors, basically, we use the maintenance module of Odoo, on which we also add some features, but some features are coming from the community. So, for instance, the fact that you can manage several maintenance plans. In Odoo standard, you can manage one maintenance plan per equipment. So we add the possibility of adding several, and also specifically custom fields that fits for the world of laboratories, like the maximum permissible error. Is it an accredited equipment? Is it a critical equipment? And stuff like that. Traceability of the equipment. And the other module, but then again, it's fully made by us, the module to connect, it's an EDI module to connect the instruments, so that the idea is to retrieve automatically the results from the instruments, so that you don't have to encode manually all the results coming from the instrument, but everything is linked.
Thank you. I've got the last one, but feel free if you want to ask another question on the pad. What are differences between Siemens and LIMS?
Alors, Siemens, it's well, they are specialized in manufacturing execution system, and historically Siemens, but they still have Unilab, which is an embedded. It's funny because it's the LIMS that I was using in my lab long time ago. But Siemens now, they are more specialized in MES system, but together with LIMS. But then it's focused on the MES. So with Odoo, we do more because it's not only the MES, but it's all the other apps, the HR, the equipment, the sales, the invoicing, accounting, projects, and all the application are linked. So we go even further. And I can tell you that I have customers coming from Siemens, and they are more happy with Odoo.
But thank you. I think we don't have any more questions. I don't have any on my pad, but thank you so much.
Okay, thank you.